So is his Cassiopeia.
I assume the Cassiopeia, and I assume they're playing around like Shen, Talia, and having Talia up against the Camille, even though obviously we don't expect Camille to lane a ton. Both junglers having a decent amount of information on each other, and they'll assume that Gideon just recalled since there weren't any camps up for him to take.
Oh, Teddy, Arcane shifting forward, Doc Arms burning down, one more tick, and there he goes! Before he gets out of there, but good flash to be taken here by the DN SOOPers.
Oh, now looking for the Raptors here. It's a good Glacial Storm to slow them down.
Yeah, Gideon will be able to get the big Raptor, and then gets the knock-up. Petrifying Gaze comes down onto 2. Crescent Guard to try and keep them alive. Peter getting taken down so low as Roma locks down the kill. Gideon looking worse for wear, but the DN SOOPers, they cannot answer the teleport. Casting comes in and says, break it up. 3v3, they're eyeing each other off like an ARAM with 4 AFKs.
Darvel does now have the ultimate and has flash. Oh, big
that's amazing from Closer. He is still taking a lot of damage, but down goes the Xin Zhao, and Shovel gets a kick flash. Roma just gonna get scrambled here in this mid lane, and the DN SOOPers come alive and equal out the kill score.
Closer so far. DN SOOPers came out ahead.
Yep.
HANJIN BRION have started the dragon. They should be able to pick this up. Will DNS be able to get any exit kills is the question.
Oh, as the Hextech sweep, Shovel is going to land the Q. Hookshot comes down. They do just manage to stun out Closer, but Peter grabs the kill onto Gideon. He's dead yet again as Teddy forced to flash to get out of the way of that seismic shove. Missing a few buttons here as they get engaged on, and Teddy will be taken down as well. It's 5-2. The DN SOOPers have a gold lead for the DN SOOPers. They're having a great time.
Yep, and notably, gold leads across the board, not focused on a one person.
Oh dear. I believe Namgung is dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so I feel like the Ezreal in this situation feels very comfortable into
the DN. For the DN SOOPers just recently, that has only increased as Gideon just got a deal here for the bros.
Big spike, you can definitely look to carry with.
All right, there is the Petrifying Gaze. Casting is going to be flashing away. Peter making his way over. All right, going to need to be creative use of this equalizer as at least these minions are going to go down. Still, it's a very comfortable dive. And Peter happily tanks that one up. Nice pick here for the DN SOOPers. Moving crude since we started the conversation.
Yeah, I do think he just hit Doc down there with the amount of stacks he quickly got. Now they're looking again for casting.
Oh man, doesn't have equalizer this time as there's the taunt flash from Peter. And nothing this Rumble could do. The DN SOOPers are playing so proactively.
Yeah, they're just being ruthless, finding these angles to punish casting, and really what is happening on the rest of the map? Gideon is farming his Grom, Teddy is farming mid, just like they're
everywhere here for the DN SOOPers. As finally, I mean, the bros are able to get some vision down in this part of the river, but the Drake is already going to be taken. Dash cannon used there nicely by Roma. As Teddy does have the transformation now, but it doesn't help them with this Drake whatsoever. That wasn't great. Still, the Baron is going to get started up here, spotted by the bros. Gideon's trying to move over. Oh, tried to get over the wall there. Very, very cute stuff. Does have flash. He just waits it out, tries to flash in, and it doesn't work. Finally, the Crescent Guard is going to be used, though. The equalizer goes down. Pretty good positioning as the wall comes in as well. Gideon knocks up Shovel, or tries to, but Shovel just gets himself out. And Namgung, he is really dead. Nice stun here from Roma. But the bros are just bleeding players, and the Baron is already there on the DN SOOPers.
Already secured the objective, and bro just not able to turn anything around from that point onwards. They will get some damage onto this mid lane tower, but it's a very small consolation price. TP coming in.
Wow.
The Cassiopeia, this is a crazy angle.
This is kind of mental. All right, well, he is just kind of getting burnt down. He has a Shen with him. Roma trying to survive. He does have egg. It's Gideon. Can you protect this egg here? And the answer is no. Shovel gets in there, casting, taking so much damage. He flashes to try and kill Closer, but then just gets shoved back. And the DN SOOPers, I do not think they're throwing this one away. As Teddy trying to dance around the battlefield, but it is just not working. They are not playing his song today, as Namgung might be able to kill Peter with Teddy's help, but it's not going to help the game. And Dudu just having the best time on this Yorick.
Closer just went for such a crazy play. Managed to make it work. And it kind of makes sense, right, with the Shen shield on top, the Locket, the Seraphs, the Rocket Belt, the Roa. He is pretty bulky, but you don't expect the enemy mid lane mage to TP behind 3 people and make it out.
We'll just have to hold for the moment. That's all right. First inhibitor turret under fire towards this bottom side as Dudu going to get taken down here pretty short, as the equalizer was there. True Shot Barrage does not snipe it, as now Sharple's in a lot of trouble. Into the Hex Deck Ultimatum, and now down to the GA. Oh no, Orcs, tell me it's not so, as the miasma comes in. Closer was walled off though, just could not get any damage down.
Just one kill, okay? They haven't thrown it yet. In fact, it's dipped under 10,000.
Yeah, because it's a gaze, just looks at them.
Oh, well, the gaze specifically, but also like the...
Why did she have to shriek like that?
I don't know. Emphasis?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it's just for vibes. It's all right.
Maybe she tried it silently and it just didn't have
It just didn't feel the same. It didn't have the same oomph.
Yeah.
And I guess if you do turn off the sound of your PC, then it won't make any sound. It's all right. Oh no, they're getting closed in on here. But Gideon is going to turn it onto Dudu. He's taken a lot of damage and will be taken out first. The Maiden dead as well. As now Peter caught out. Oh no, the DN SOOPers just messed up the timing. And now two of them are dead.
Team who only exists when we say, oh, well, the game's probably done now. And they just slide on in.
Yeah.
Once per minute is what
well, he does have it. And the Baron has been started. There is vision there for the bros. They know this is going on. Let's see whether Gideon can make this one happen. Needs to get over this wall, but he doesn't have the flash. So the Baron will be secured. The question is, can they win a fight? As the Maiden gets a little bit confused, but will not be going down or anything like that. Teddy back over to this mid lane and will be able to lock that one down.
I love the setup from the DN SOOPers. The fact that they...
24 seconds on this Drake.
They might not... Well, there is wards behind to TP, but no TP is available, actually. Oh, Closer gets caught here.
Oh, it's so dangerous. He spots them. Okay. That was looking worrisome. Okay, Drake, 10 seconds time. Wind does become lightning, but now the fight is breaking out towards the top side. Crescent Guard very early in this fight as Petrifying Gaze, not a massive amount of value, but Namgo is still going down. In they will go, decent double knockup, but my god, the damage! The Yorick picks up 3 already, and I don't think Teddy has the DPS for this. Casting's equalizer doesn't do much of anything at all because 3 of them just kind of died before any fight had a chance to start.
HANJIN BRION was so far.
Oh, that was a bit cute. Teddy able to arcane shift before Sharble made his way in though. These health bars are getting low. He's back again. Gets underneath these Nexus turrets and does go down to his GA. Teddy will be able to help push him away. But there goes the inhibitor, and the DN SOOPers, they want to win it right here, right now. There is a fair bit of damage available out of the bros, but the shove onto the Rumble, and he'll be taken down. Now they just need to focus these turrets, and the DN SOOPers have just kept their hopes for play-ins alive.
Really assist from the outside.
Yeah, what do? You don't anchor the wall.
Yeah. Sivir comes through for the DN SOOPers. More movement speed to dive in. The spell shield has a good amount of value.
Magic Pen. Feeling brilliant. As Gideon going to be looking for some more of these daggers. Closer's moving in, and this Doggo's looking a little worse for wear. Trying to get out of the way of Closer, who just gets the ulti down. That is a very dead Nefiri, and a great start here for the DN SOOPers.
Avoid, circumvent anything the Jarvan does, but I don't think Gideon expected him to just jump on top of him immediately. And the end result is a kill that will be translated into Dragon. Now, top lane, Dudu in a bit of trouble, but should be able to make his way out of this one.
Yeah, going hyper against Dudu here momentarily, but Dudu will be able very soon.
This is so hard to live. I think he might just be a little bit cooked here.
Yep, ulti is going to get Gideon in. Dudu just trying to ult his way out, won't be able to do so. There's the flash now, and just walloped to death. Casting able to lock that one down. Wave is right there, so they don't need to worry about the turret aggro. Really nice kill back for the Bros, so it's pretty scary. And they are just going to give up this second dragon and look to try and kill Dudu again, and they should be successful here. He does get underneath his turret, though, and this time there is no wave, as it is now finally conga lining over. And now, I mean, there is no ultimate, I guess, but there's no ultimate from Dudu either. That's going to miss. Dark and Daggers land, and Gideon able to lock down that kill in trade for this dragon.
And Dudu really suffering right now. HANJIN BRION consistently putting the attention towards his top lane.
Oh, another ulti forward from Closer, finds the electrocution, and down goes the Annie solo kill for Closer in the mid lane.
He just hits everything onto him. He didn't even need the second use of his ultimate.
Right, well, this is to try and get some of that dopamine back that they missed out on by Dr. Arm living. They're just going to kill Dudu for a third time as, oh, okay, Closer just going to kill Roma for the second time here on the top side. He doesn't need any friends to get that one done as Dudu's flashing away. He's even going to survive. That's all right. Looks like the Bros might be able to get themselves their first dragon, but a Battle Herald is going to come down. The attempted steal comes in from Shabel, doesn't quite get there, does use Shelly in order to escape though. And the Bros, they have no interest in a fight. They're just going to take themselves the dragon and look to try and get out, but there is a knock-up onto Namgung. They take down the turret, and now Namgung's in a lot of trouble. It looks like Gideon is going to be the target here for close. They're going to have to settle for the Nautilus as the Neferi was untargetable. All right, there's a flag and drag. Flash Cataclysm to come on through there for Shabel. And down will go Doctom because he is a billion miles away from his teammates. Close are going to be able to get a charge here as Roma is there to grab the kill onto Shelly. The DN SOOPers just gone 1-for-1, I believe. And the Bros actually... I mean, Teddy has about a 500 gold lead, I think largely to do with plates and things like that. As Dudu does get himself the shield to avoid any sort of boulder toss damage. And there's a nice knock-up here from Shabel. Does get a nice stun into the wall there as he flashes out of the way of the public execution, but the rest of the DN SOOPers are coming down. There is the knock-up onto Casting, and he is mincemeat. Dudu gets his revenge.
Good play there, good setup from Shabel.
Different between these two teams. Even though there's a 3,000 gold lead for Closer. Oh god, Roma is just dead again, isn't he? There's the perfect execution. Tibbers goes down, but he's just dead. The third solo kill in a row here for Closer.
And that's the thing, you misplay earlier on in the game, you get solo killed, and it's just making it easier and easier.
Yeah, Roma does have that stun prep. Let's see who he's actually going to be able to get on top of, though. As Dudu looking for a flank angle, Closer doing exactly the same thing. A bit of a pincer move here for the DN SOOPers, as Gideon not able to get the steal. And it looks like the Bros want none of this. Closer is spotted on the side of the fight as Roma will find the bear onto him. There's the ulti from Gideon. They really want to take down Closer, but there is no hope in the world to kill this guy. I mean, he's still got his dash cannon, his arm guard. He was always going to be fine.
Still had flash. Didn't even use the ult either. Also, the Yanara's damage available to the ult. Oh, they're looking though now.
Yeah, Shabel trying to find an angle here as Teddy does flash to get out of the way, but he is still going to die. Gideon having to go up into the sky here as Roma trying to offer some damage back, but the wild growth onto Shabel will keep him very, very healthy. And the Bros just lose their AD carry, and Dudu just having a field day here in this bottom lane. Casting coming on over to try and save his inner turret. He might be able to do so, but the teleport out from Dudu will get him all the way over towards this Baron that has already been started by the DN SOOPers. They are keeping the pace up here in this game beautifully, and Closer should be able to zone them all away. He's so scary. Shroud is going to dissipate at least for the moment as they're looking for the turn. Doctom at full health as Teddy is still dead for another 10 seconds time. This turn does come through. Shabel holds onto the turret aggro though, as Closer was looking it back. The ulti comes in from Gideon, and Closer does have to break his arm guard. The Baron is going to get turned off, but there's a shutdown going over to Gideon. And now Shabel trying to get on top of Roma, but the blast cone gets him out. Namgung into the backline. I'm not entirely sure about this, but Roma will be able to shut down the job. And there goes Doctom, and it ain't over for the Bros until it's over, ladies and gentlemen.
They find the angle back. Gets spotted out, and his ult is actually back up and available, but he doesn't get a chance to use it. Shabel goes in to save it. We're fighting again.
We are fighting again. Dudu is in so much trouble. Just going to get ulted on here by Gideon. He will find the Dark and Daggers, as now Casting is looking for Closer in the backline, but the resets come through. Gideon is gigantic. He dives on top. He goes down to the GA, and he kills the Akali again. Oh my god, this came like Closer was the main character and now he's died twice! What is this, Dragon Ball Z?
I have to say it. This is the same team they were 2 days ago.
Oh no!
DNS, everything was going in favor of them in this game and it's all just fallen apart. Bro have locked in.
They have. Bro realize that they're professionals. They don't care about the homework. This is their job. And they are generous in game 1. But you will not get their generosity.
Wow, who's this cool new tall teacher? Wait, what's this rock band?
Yeah. All right, Roma's going to get cataclysmed here as the public execution does come down. The Tibbers trying to get some work done, but it's a successful pickoff. Meanwhile, inner turret does fall down on the bottom side of the map, but the DN SOOPers is able to
see the dragon go down.
Oh, 7 elemental drakes though.
And it's Cloud Soul.
And do you know what the best part about that is? That means this game is going to go for much longer. Oh, never mind! Casting finding a gorgeous angle here. Will be able to gnar a couple of them back. One of them's Dudu, though. A closer gets into the backline. Teddy flashes out of the way. Cataclysm's there, but he dashes out of it. And Shovel taken down to the GA. Teddy ticking down, but will be able to survive for the moment. And these health bars are disintegrating. Man, Tibbers, a pretty extraordinary sixth man here in this game. But DNS do claim control of mid, and no one's dead. How is no one dead?
When you see Closer going in, put so much damage on the Teddy before the peel comes through, and then the ricochets to start shredding everyone here. Dr. now with this IE is such a major threat.
Oh, you saw Teddy as soon as those ricochets started to come through. It's like, nah, I'm out. There is no way. The Bros will be able to find a Baron and also chain CC Closer here. So he is very dead. Casting locks down the kill, and maybe the game's just over because Shovel doesn't have a GA. Dom gets into the Cataclysm to self-counter himself as the Sivir, but now it's Dudu. He's trying to have a go of it as the polymorph comes through. Teddy is taken out, but there are more carries than just this Yunara on the Bros, and Peter is not going to be able to stop this game from going to game 3.
It's just Peter left. He cannot do enough. HANJIN BRION find the final team fight to end the game with a bit of madness, a bit of chaos, but DNS did not get their homework in on time.
And do you know what? I feel like we haven't been treated to the true Fries Group experience until right now. Yeah. This is exactly what we wanted. No one picking up a soul and making it. All right, it's going to be Zehen instead, and I think that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Meaning that the Olaf runs at you, and then you stack up your passive, and then you can...
I'm going just pretending not to know. He's like, oh, I'm scared of the brush. No, he's not.
Well, there's the flash in from Gideon. They are not messing around here. No rebuttal for you, good sir. And
a lot of damage. I think ultimately the fact that level 6 spike came in from Roma, you're able to circumvent it. Yes, flash is burn. It's not ideal, but you don't die.
Oh, I think they got wind of what was going to happen here, but the flash from Shovel will get on top of Teddy. Peacemaker comes down, but the barrier! Oh, Shovel's able to lock it up in the end. Recently as yesterday, I'm pretty sure. As Casting now, very far up, does have to be careful here as Shovel makes his way in. Casting does have that passive charged. And let's see whether Dudu is going to be able to get him down to that passive, as there's the ulti to avoid the impale. Shovel in a lot of trouble. Now the Ragnarok does come on in as shows up and blows them up. Dudu is standing his ground, does need to be a little careful here as Casting trying to run away. There is an Ari moving up though. Oh, that was cute from Casting with a little bit of a sidestep. Q comes down and Dudu exists. As Roma is going to get the rebuttal, and the charm does then follow, but doesn't
down. And then Roma turns up, but not able to find anything there. Oh,
whoa! Okay, they will be able to find Closer this time. Even a deadly flourish comes down. Now I'm going hit by his own Q, but that is not the one you wanted to rebut. And Gideon going to be able to put. Does have a first one at least.
Roma's here.
Oh dear, they're not out of the woods just yet. There's the Spirit Rushes. Now Peter is going to be their first target. Orb Inception will help Gideon lock that one down. Teleport in for the Mel as the rest of the...
having the Ghost and ult. Casting doesn't have the passive.
Oh, yeah, Dudu. Casting may not even have his life as there is the ulti. Casting just puts him down. Never mind. Don't doubt the Hail of Blades, Zehen. And he will cut down Dudu where he stands. And now the Bros feeling a whole lot better, not having to worry about this Olaf for another 25 seconds. His teleport is available, but so is Casting's. And he can just freely push in this top lane as well. So much control now over to the Bros.
And to be honest, even...
Yeah, Roma, though, is now on a bit of a flank angle, moving over towards DNS. Gideon not going to be able to steal this Drake away, but there are 4 members of DNS in an awkward spot. Now the Spirit Rush comes down. Good charm onto Shovel as in they go onto the other side of the fight as well. Shovel drives his way out, finds the Impale onto the Pantheon, and now Casting makes his way in. Down he will go as there is the kill onto the Scorpion. Teddy locks that one up, but they do take out the Ari. It's a 2 for 2 in the end with the Drake over to DNS. Zahen's pretty happy with an Ocean Soul as well.
Yeah.
Shovel wanting to find Teddy once again. He doesn't have his flash available, and now he doesn't have his life. Pop he goes. Heart still action there for Shovel to help take down the Jin.
See that Dudu pushing in this bot lane. Going to be able to walk over in the fog of war.
Oh, Peter going to get snared here. And Not going to have to worry about the W out of Namgung.
They just have the honey fruit as well. Sin. Oh,
Good charm. Foxfire will get Roma out of the Tempered Fate. Shovel just getting walked around here just a little.
I think Ari, not the easiest target to hit with the Tempered Fate, but I guess was maybe trying to force the ultimate out of Roma.
Yep, ace in the hole. Going to soften up this Karma for a bit.
I love how they're utilizing the poke champions of Skarner and Olaf, throwing things at them.
Casting trying to find an angle here as Closer gets tagged once again. The Rift Trail does come on down, but they're looking for the fight instead. Gideon going to be walking up immediately, decides not to dive in. As Closer not quite finding the buttons, does take the magical journey to get himself out. And that turret does end up falling down.
This is fine though for DNS. They got the Ari ult and were able to disengage, so Roma's much weaker now in this fight.
Now, a lot of these control wards being taken down. The Bros, oh, the flash in on top of Closer, but Casting will not be able to finish him off. The trap's going to get eaten. Flash out from Teddy as the charm connects onto Shovel. His health bar is massive. The Olaf getting zoned by Casting. And there is the Drake over to DNS. They'll take the Pantheon as well. And there's that reckless swing from Dudu. Roma takes it down for the double as he walks it off in the end. The curtains are getting called here for Teddy, but Casting goes down in the interim, and he's the last man standing. It looks like DN SOOPers with a 2,000 gold lead before this Baron goes down. And they... Okay, there. Level 16 now for the Olaf as well. Now the Bros thinking about going for a bit of an angle here as we're blast coning in. Let's see whether Doctarm can stay alive. It's a magical journey drive-by. Not sure about that one. Closer, though, is going to be the target here as it's a very split fight. And Closer wins the 1 versus 2. Roma might be able to take him out as Teddy is there for that bullet. And now the curtains getting called. Down will go Casting, but the snipe comes in for the Jhin. Still a 2 for 2. I just don't know whether that's good enough for the Bros.
But DNS really just need to calm this down. They had the Baron in pocket. They want to push with it, but now the push has kind of been deflated.
Oh, that's a good point. Removing the Barons. I kind of
feel to take this tower and get a bit more gold in pocket. That was a crazy. Not a ton of wave clear there to help out.
Yeah, so Roma is just trying to get some money here towards the bottom side. Kind of surprised the bounties aren't up. It is close to a 4,000 gold lead, but I think maybe just not enough time of this level of advantage. The Baron will dissipate in 1 second. 2,000 on the Rebel Baron power play. Not going to heal up that much for the next little while because he's got a Mortal Reminder. Yeah, that's about it. Ace in the hole going to connect onto Namgung here as Teddy does find a shot onto Dudu, and he just kind of shakes it off.
It's such good vision control setup here from DNS. All these control wards down, marking out the area. Bro have to face check, and Namgun walking up there. Not the one you want to do so. This is a hand TPing into a trap.
Yeah, and Teddy is just walking towards the bad guys. Casting is going to be all right as Roma gets into the back of this pit. He flashes. He gets on top of Doctarm. The steal away on the Drake will deny the soul. Tempered Fate to buy some time, but there is the ulti forward. They take down Doctarm, and there is the curtain call as well. The last bullet being held doesn't find the target. Dudu's going to be dead, and Casting's crazy teleport may have actually kept the Bros in the game.
Dudu's just got to run and buy time. I don't think they could end anyway, but things not going good for DNS on the back of that play.
Oh, skewers him like a kebab. And there is another one. In fact, there's a lot of spears between those two.
I need to try and approach.
Infinity Edge has been picked up by Teddy here as well. Casting should be able to get into the back of the pit here. They get the information as they'll lose out on the Dragon. The charm is going to connect here from Roma, though, as they look for the angle towards the Olaf. He cannot find an inroad, unfortunately, as they'll take a magical journey to try and escape. But you can see they're ushered around by this nine-tailed fox. It looks like Roma will let them escape for the moment, but not. And the DN SOOPers, I don't know whether they're going to be contested on this one. I mean, Gideon can just press his ultimate button, but they had no information. All right, Casting will be able to clear out this wave.
You know what's great? I know I shouldn't, it's too early. I shouldn't speak, but they have a lead, they have the Baron, they have the Soul. We could be on the cusp of a DNS POM interview.
Oh my goodness!
So long!
Wait, who gets the vote?
Oh, that's the trick.
No, we can't. No.
Don't get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we won't put that into the ether. That's
I really hope they're not thinking about it. Like, stay locked in, guys.
Yeah. Like, Closer's busy trying to work out what he's going to say. All right, Dudu comes on over towards this mid lane inhibitor turret. Another ace in the hole is going to fly towards Roma, who gets an Inspire Shield to help eat it. And DNS, I like the reserved play. Namgung once again, another Mandarin Q thrown back in his face. But slowly but surely, they're getting through this one. I mean, Doctorm is on Caitlyn. Fantastic sieging champion. You do not need to commit to any sort of fight when she's standing in front of a turret. The pressure is on your opponent to make that happen.
And Shovel just keeps throwing rocks at them to proc the Ocean Soul and healing up. It's so convenient. Really helping out the sustain and the siege. Even with the mana as well, the mana regen goes a long way.
All right. Betty just trying to throw some poke around it. It's not doing anything.
They're so close. Magical journey down towards the bot lane.
There we go. Just
they gotta get their own inhib.
Magical base gate.
You know how few inhibitors this team has killed? They want to relish this. Want to get all of them. Oh no, do.
All right. Teddy just can't find enough range.
Oh, they're looking. They're going.
Yeah, they're trying to get all of them. All right, in goes Gideon, finds Paul with the ulti, but right into the backline. He's just taking so much damage, caught by a trap, and then should be taken down to the GA. The Impale is only onto casting, though he uses it to close the distance into the backline. Doctorm keeps himself alive, though, and into the passive goes casting. Shovel tanking up for about 15 years as the final bullet will be enough to take him down. But now it's DNS that are taking that front foot forward, looking to try and get on top of the bros. They've taken out the front line, and they should be able to demolish this base.
They should be able to get it. They're sustaining up with the Ocean Soul. It's 4v3 and the minions pushing in. Super minions in mid. This might be it.
As it turns out, no one defeats the DN SOOPers 19 times in a row. They'll take down the Nexus turret.
Get the Nexus!
Oh, never mind. It's
get the Nexus!
They can't kill it. Close it. Oh! And the game stays alive. Oh, God, talk about eulogizing too early.
Oh, no. I hope I'm not going to regret saying that. This should be it. Come on, guys.
Well, here's the engage. They've got Elder now. Quickly, let's get to the back line. Gideon's going to get eaten by a dragon.
He's going.
And Dudu is running for the Nexus. The DN SOOPers couldn't do it the first push, but by Jove, they'll do it this one. And Dudu. This will be about how much Zeka can abuse being on this champion that's somewhat overtuned on this particular patch. He has found success on it in the Kesper Cup more recently. Fenrir is in such a weird and unique position as he's only just been promoted to the main roster and already... Okay, never mind. We're flashing in. Cuz just going to throw Kanavi into the wall. Fenrir is going to move up. Effort waiting over the wall. They know that they're getting first blood, and Cuz...
He's almost out of help.
Yeah,
I think running out of
trade of two resources here as Cuz going to come in. BDD, it looked like he was baiting that, and indeed, he kind of was. Kanavi not going to have the flag and drag for the next little while. The Twin Fangs come out. It's another one as the second kill comes in for Kate. Really weird. Speaking of weird, Ambassador I've felt has been kind of strong versus perfect, and he wants to hold this wave, actually doing a great job doing so. And Zeka holds the wave himself. Okay, Purgatory comes down and misses. Now Zeka gets flashed on. That outplay was so sick from Perfect, and now the Impale in this bottom lane. Kanavi is going to put them in the Cataclysm, but Effort, he flashes away. Kanavi survives, but the minions block the culling, and KT win everywhere. The flash in, and Cuz is going for even more. It is going to be the ankle landing on Delight. They'll settle for that kill, and KT move to 4-0. Going for the Heartsteel.
Yeah, the Belt Fist I feel is a lot weaker with the nerfs, but it's still okay. You still get the heal and the bonus health, just you can't be bursted easier. Wow.
Oh no, Kanavi just absolutely baited. He had to guess. And it was, wait, just give it to him, Kanavi. You did not. I guess you have been casting Kanavi for a long time. Maybe you guys are on that level. All right, Gumishi going to get ulted. The flash in from BDD to deny the relentless pursuit, and he yells at Delight as well. Going to be sinking in these fangs, and man, this Cassio does some damage. A double kill here, and KT moving to 7. Just in general.
Yeah.
Unless you got Fate's Call.
They're playing for the Herald here. This is a very fed KT.
Yep, double teleports coming in as both the Ambessa and the Rumble making their way over. Let's see whether Cuz can lock it down, and he does. Tries to find the Impale, does not, as the Eye is still sitting there in the pit. BDD comes on over, and now Cuz just finds the Ambessa. Kanavi off to the side, gets on top of BDD. Oh! It's a 4-man ultimate! And it is going to be taken down, but not after killing absolutely everyone. And the Skana grabs the eye. Perfect is looking for it, and Alpha gets the max range anchor to guarantee the ace as Delight gets burnt to a crisp. KT in the lead. And I think that he's probably got money to spare as well, given how cheap these first two items are. Bounty gold goes over to Zeka as he takes down the turret.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And instead looking top.
Oh, there's the Purgatory. Throws down the Equalizer. He's definitely dead. We'll do a bit of damage back, but I think HLE should be able to get away with this one. BDD just going to tidy up the wave.
Oh, Zeka didn't get to pick up the soul, though, afterwards. That's a little bit unfortunate. Had to scarf up from that one.
Yep, subpar. As Kuz, with Gumayushi, picks up a rock, throws it at him, and that is going to be the end of the story there.
Throwing rocks at him. That's his general vibe right now.
Could look to a dragon, as...
don't contest this dragon, but
yeah,
do contest the earlier one.
So you can see how strong this champion is, even from a deficit. As he is going to throw some nails into Fenrir here. Actually finds the ulti, and Fenrir gets the barrier, and there's the combo! Puts down Zeka, not before almost dying, I have to say, but still, KT will keep their AD carry alive and shut down this lock.
Oh, looking again, though.
Okay, Kuz is over here. There's the Flash Cataclysm. Fenrir just trying to use that Bloodthirst. So the Impale connects onto Gumayushi, finally able to take down this Misfortune as Kanavi goes underneath the turret. But there's the Rumble to do the damage. BDD finally gets here, and HLE realize it is time to run away. Kuz going to help Zeus do so just a little bit here, but not without Perfect backing him up. And now Delight is just going to get poisoned and removed. The cleanup just a little too powerful here from KT as they get revenge for their new AD. That's going to be a tough one to come back from. And that's without even talking about BDD, who is kind of the main character right now. Oh my god, Fenrir just walks up to Guma and takes half of his health bar, and Kanavi's just dead. Anchor is going to be able to find Zeus after the dash as he tries to ult his way out, but Effort is going to catch him. He's slammed into the wall and put down by Fenrir, and all the while, Perfect puts up a wall of flame that they cannot walk across. Without a jungler, without a top laner, KT should be able to grab themselves a Baron.
KT just playing levels above HLE right now.
Lane. Fire kick going to land, but the trade in the rock is pretty scary. Oh. Anchor finds Delight off to the backside, and he is executed. The bullet time going to be enough to take him down there. Now KT with the Baron, looking for this inner turret. Oh, okay. Yeah, flag and drag, pretty good timing on that one, as Effort was obviously looking for... He's throwing boulders towards this lock. And HLE, I just don't think they're going to really be able to do anything about this. I think giving up this inhibitor is going to be the first step. And then, oh, the max range anchor. Once again, they're looking to lock down Kanavi, and they'll do so very easily. Fenrir's damage just kind of ludicrous right now. But now, Zeka throws in some Purgatory. Couple tagged with it here as Gumayushi is going to be walking away. But he was running extremely quickly. That is largely because of those stacks. Okay, outer turret falls finally on the top side of the map as that anchor definitely wasn't about to hit anyone. I think expecting someone to flash out of the way is now Gumayushi just getting completely poked out. Does find the culling here, gets the big ol' heal, but the bullet time just destroys them all! And the Impale was gorgeous. Into the backline goes Zeus. The anchor to follow Gumayushi now trying to layer the damage down, but the answering kill is going to be there. Relentless Pursuit gets out of this Equalizer just after it went down, but it's still almost burnt him to death with how fed this Rumble is. And KT, they move it up to about a 7,000 gold lead, and it just feels like...
And suffering from the gold deficit the team has. Oh, Kanavi might be dead again.
Oh dear, he's on a miasma. There's a Petrifying Gaze, and yes, BDD will kill him. No way that you can even get the Q out. This Casio 8-1-6.
Yeah.
24. Yeah, challenges for BDD obviously here in this one. They'll take another inhibitor. That is going to go down in the mid lane. We're looking at a Baron being up in 45 seconds. Might be what KT are going to... So much more interesting The DN SOOPers in game 2 had a composition and a game position that was looking really good. As now Cuz is going to miss kind of everything. The culling is going to land on a BDD, but he goes golden. The arm guard's fantastic. Kanavi gets the Cataclysm off. Evan will be taken down as Zeus finds the double. There's the Impale to come through as HLE. They find the misfortune and they keep themselves alive.
Just a generational caster case right there. I'm honestly...
I mean, I was in the middle of saying, this is still throwable.
Oh my god, I'm actually impressed that I was able to do that. But yeah, they 1 in 10 job, and who cares? They won the team fight. They're going to get a bunch of bounty gold here. BDD out of position a little bit without...
for this one. So much more on the line for HLE, though. They have to deny this Dragon. Kanavi staying on it right now. The teleport in, and Kanavi looks for the Cataclysm. Immediately has to cancel it. Here's the ultimate. Picks up the misfortune. Beautifully played. Zeus stays out of the Impale as well, but Guma goes too far forward. This time the Equalizer is gorgeous, and he's burning them all down. Perfect now alongside Cuz and Effort. Wants to take down Zeus, but he sidesteps the anchor. Cuz down so low, but it's another Flame Spitter, and they'll be able to take him out. And now they just need to stop Zekka's back. This could be game over.
It could be. They're peeling back though now
yeah.
that he's just picked up a bunch of stacks after losing all of them.
Yeah, still able to run really quickly around the Raptors. Oh no, that was not the blast cone he was looking for. Equalizer stops him from being able to make it back to the rest of his team as well, and he can't get over the wall because there's no flash. Oh no! Zeus is going to fall down, and now the Baron, which is up and available, should belong to KT. A 4 versus 5 just feels like a bridge too far.
Especially Zeus being the one who goes down, the one who did so much in that last fight, but it's a great trap from KT playing around that vision. Perfect is hunting for Kanavi, has spotted him. No way he gets into the pit now. They're just going to push mid instead.
Yeah, that's more stacks over to BDD as well.
He gets cut off coming.
Yeah, BDD looking for the angle here. Petrifying Gaze could be so scary. He finds it onto two. So much damage onto Kanavi. Gumayushi at least is able to help take him down, but the anchor to finish him off. He just drops it on his head. Oh man, justice for supports. I'm voting for Effort even though I don't have a vote. Kanavi going to be running away here. Zekka as well. Nowhere near this fight. Is just trying to escape towards the northern side.
Another
and now
TP?
Teleport in from Perfect. I think they're looking to finish this one off. Unless Zekka goes for a base race, which would be...
They have Baron to recall, but he has Lich Bane. He actually does so much damage.
Yeah. And so, let's see whether he stays.
Guys,
see whether he can take... Yeah,
guys, you need to recall.
Yeah, well, Perfect is going to go back. He's going to lose. Wait, this could just be the end. Okay, he does back away. There's the Impale to come on down as Zeus throws out the ultimate. Effort just trying to stand in front of his teammates. Kanavi is just free food here for KT, unfortunately.
This is unfortunate.
That is not the teleport that Zekka was looking for. The anchor does go through him as he goes into stasis. Dashes out of the way. There's the Purgatory. Fenrir this time is able to dodge out of the way of it though. The flash in from Zeus to try and take down the misfortune. Will fail this time. And Gumayushi gets knocked up. Hit by everything. Effort is ridiculous, but Zekka will be able to finish off this MF. And we were saying it, man. I love the Legend group this year. This is absolute ridiculousness. As one Nexus turret is going to remain, and BDD, I think, is going to come down and stop this funny business. KT will be taking game number 1 in our final series of the week. But I really hope this goes to...
Too long ago, increasing the damage resistance he gets from his W to kind of crazy levels. So
yeah, it also just fits this composition so well, right? Like,
yeah.
Kanavi comes in, delivers really old or kind of new. There's a lot going on there. It's perfect. Fun and a great angle here towards Zeus, who's down to 100 health himself. KT fighting back in a few of these lanes.
Oh, Fenrir could be in trouble.
Yeah, Fenrir is going to be able to face check him though. And that means that HLE weren't able to surround this core.
Oh, what a flash.
Yeah, the flash gets out of the way. Effort wanting to find an angle here. The Aegis just soaks so much. Effort wishing he had the Pulverize back, but it is still... Fenrir, what do we do? Fenrir, he's using his Valkyrie like an equalizer. That was ridiculous. Cuz is going to be taken down for first blood. There goes Effort as well. KT just fell apart. And now Zekka is looking for the angle.
Windows to KT when the lights are actually on. And he's just continuing to farm, continuing to pick up these camps. Dragon going to be secured.
He does need to do his best to deal with them. Does have barrels in order to do so. As there's a pulverize, bit of a delivery here as Delight is kind of scattered around. In goes Kanavi though. The Unleashed Power not going to do nearly enough onto Delight, who had the aftershock, even survives that last Dark Sphere and walks over a control wall. You will theoretically be in a better spot than the Jhin, who really does want to hit like 3 or 4 items. As there's Paranoia in, they do throw down the ulti on to Zeka, who tanks up the turret for a little while. Delight trying to deal with it as well, but Kanavi underneath this one will be very capable of tanking it up. And okay, I think they will get one back. There we go. Cuz finds the kill on Kanavi, and they go 1 for 1.
Just what I'm thinking, even with Cuz there, they can't turn the play around and BDD dies, and then Kanavi just a little bit too aggressive.
Okay, Fenrir, I see you. Will he be able to find the angle? The flash forward! The phosphorus bomb, and he solo kills Guma! Impossible to kill. And even Kanavi is very durable. Problem is, no one on HLE is providing a target for KT to go in on. Zeka does look for a bit of an angle towards Perfect. Let's see. Effort goes in, gets the pulverize, but there's the curtain call. Effort tanks up a bit of it. As let's see whether this Gragas will be able to get out. He does. The Unleashed Power onto Kanavi will be a kill over to KT. That took some shenanigans, but they're able to get it done. And oh no, there's the double. Boom goes the dynamite as Zeka locks them both down. Zeus gets kill credit for one of them somehow, but still, really nice answer here from HLE.
And just when you think KT have found a way,
Fenrir looking to try and do it again. As he can play around the vision here. Delight gets the taunt flash, but there is the stun. Oh my, the cleanse so good out of Fenrir. Keeps himself alive, and they take down Delight. This guy's Corki is absolutely out of control. As now Cuz has to flash away. Effort's moving in. Cuz walled off, but there's the flash pulverize onto Zeka. Perfect finds his way back in, but I don't know whether he really wants to do too much other than take a drink, and that's exactly what's going on.
Effort saves his flash. It's like, I want to save this flash for a better moment. Well, that's perfect.
The wall, giving them a little bit of information back, but man, Zeus is able to control so much space. Doesn't get the stun. The curtains have been called though, and Kanavi just sticking on this Baron with Zeka's DPS to help out. Now Delight goes in. Zeus is going to go golden. All the while, the Baron was being started and continued here by Kanavi. Locks that one up, and now Zeka finds the damage and down everyone.
And in this play, it's just difficult to approach. Zeus gets a double stun into death. Another stun.
To at least try and get some bounty gold back here, but the inner turret is going to fall. Bit of a juxtaposition from the last game where Zeus was doing the same thing. X-Splash from Effort was thinking about going aggressive on that one, but then thinks better of it. You can understand why. This game is in a very rough spot. Finally, the Gragas does manage to get through that turret there, but he is still only on 1 item. There are 3 fully completed ones on Zeus. Like, this gold lead is really getting to some absurd levels. 3,000 for both solo lanes.
Look at the mid lane item comparison.
Yeah.
Like, think how long it's going to take BDD to cut through these health bars. They're not even that tanky. It's just enough. Whereas Zeka,
of course he's going in. Well, they're going to try and find the scatter. That is a dead Kanavi. They're looking to try and take down Fenrir here, who's able to move himself out of the way, but Gumayusi, he finds the bullet. Still, it's a double kill for Cuz. Zeka trying to get the damage down. There's the scatter from BDD to try and lock that kill up. Force of Will not going to quite connect, but it's a triple for Gumayusi. There is a penta on the table if he kills BDD in Effort, but it looks like they are going to get themselves out. And Guma just going to be dealing with these inhibitor turrets. Teleport back from Zeus. They want to end this game right here and now. X-Flash from Effort, not going to be taken once again, as BDD just wanted to deal with these minions. They are fully buffed up though, as this last siege minion just going to get pulled away here by BDD.
She took him out, and he's able to pick up a triple as a reward.
Gragas and Alistar up and available, but I don't think it even really matters. May not even get there. Gumayusi will find a Deadly Flourish onto Perfect. Yeah, he's doing plenty of damage. As Effort just trying to do what he can. And even if KT find the engage that they're looking for, I just don't think that they have the DPS. That's what makes this so difficult. As the flash in from Zeka, and they will just blow up BDD. not any way to play the game whatsoever. Cuz is going to Grand Starfall in, looks for a bit of an angle, but they decide to kill Fenrir. Effort is going to be there. Triumphant Roar keeps him alive. Down to the egg goes Zeus, and a cask is beautiful, but honestly, it's a little too late. Zeus goes golden, keeps himself alive, and they will all survive to take down the KT Nexus and bring us to 6 games. On the top side of the map, and then try and team fight their way out if they can find the right angles. The problem is, if HLE get map control, vision control, that it was being taken down, but you can see Cuz beelining it towards the top lane. Perfect. Hits level 6, looks for the ulti into the wall. He'll find it, and Zeus, he's just dead. Need to invest the flash for either of them in order to get that kill. So very nicely done, and I think it was necessary he's being taken. Kanavi should be able to take the first one very comfortably. Delight here trying to help out, but Effort's going to move down. There's the ult in. Wild growth from the Neferi, down goes the Seraphine. Nothing they can do about that one, but BDD going to get dove on by Kanavi. He sacrifices himself for it, though, and the arrow, it sails by majestically and does absolutely nothing. Now it's Zeus' turn to try and fight, who flashes on top of Effort. He will be able to get that one. The flash away from Fenrir, the Slurkle to help. The triple kill for Cuz.
Cuz just goes unchecked.
Nice,
yeah, I mean, I'm not faulting Zeus for this. I think he was doing what he could to salvage it, but Cuz unchecked.
How does he outplay this? Looking for a fight, and the Hextech Drake does actually do a fair bit of damage, as we can see.
Look at Cuz's angle.
DDD doesn't have flash, but Kanavi dives on top of him. There's the wild growth onto the Annie. The Encore is gigantic, and it's even the Drake secured by the Dragon Lady. She'll go down, but not before killing the Lulu as well. And BDD, no flash, no chance. Cuz just has to get out.
The difference this, and it shows why it was so important for KT to, oh no.
Oh dear. There's a wallop, and there's an R, and there's a dead Zeus once again. Wow.
In terms of items.
Well, there is the arrow, and it doesn't matter what items you have if you can hit them cross-country like that.
I feel like this is, oh.
All right, Zeus finds the ulti here. Nice boomerang does come down as Perfect just going to hop out of the way to buy time. Some cinders being picked up as well, and Cuz is going to move in.
Oh no.
Zeus just going to get ulted by Cuz, and I think that will be the end of him. The Mega Gnar comes in at perfect time as well, and it was a nice little idea, but ultimately didn't work.
Zeus just not having a fun time this game at all. And the tower will go down as well, so an even bigger lead for this Gnar and this Neferi. Could have just walked that off. Like, he was safe in the play.
Looking at live, Delight just randomly flashed. Someone randomly flashed. Looked very, very weird. That is going to be Kanavi dead. I feel like coming out of replays into Kanavi being dead has just become a real thing. For a flash encore and then didn't like it. Or
maybe
something.
Press the wrong button. Now, Herald coming in, so Cuz can go for this and Herald out if he needs to get it.
He's going to be able to steal it. There is the Shelly escape route as well. And he might even use it for a potential engage. Slurkle going to slow down Delight.
Across the board.
Oh, they are grouping up.
With the BDD on this flank.
Yeah, this is a big one. Just flashes in, just kind of doesn't find too much. But Delight does have to flash himself out of the way. In goes Cuz downtown and finds the kill onto the Shyvana. The Gumiishi just peppers him with arrows. Perfect. Finds a double wallop for the end. Fenrir picks up the triple. Zekas ran out of buttons, but finds one in the end to put down the Yunara. And it is now Victor versus Gnar. A polymorph to turn the tides of this next fight. See whether Effort can actually use it for good here, as Kanavi finds the only point that doesn't have vision. Stun comes down, but PDD is just getting eaten by the dragon. It's a trade of jungler for mid laner, and maybe HLE are okay with it because they've done so much damage to KT off the back end. Scuttle Crab goes over. Fenrir is spotted and does have Effort to back him up. So BDD down for another 25.
Moving into the Dragon Pit. Are HLE aware?
He might actually be able to sneak this one away, as HLE are all showing themselves on this mid lane. Perfect able to walk out of the way of the vision. They do spot the bad news, but this is just gone.
It's an Neferi. No real way to punish him. He's just going to get it and get out. Commit to more. They do get the dragon in the end, but it's a goal. The gold lead has shrank a little bit.
Oh dear, there's the ulti. Kanavi going to get locked down and destroyed. Cuz takes him out. That's the jungler dead again, and in the Baron Pit of all places.
you can't play like that without your ult available. Kanavi gets punished, and now the Baron is going down so quickly.
My goodness, yeah, there is a smite available here as well for the Nefiri. This Baron is gone. The arrow sails through the posts. And Gumayusi gets 6 points, but no Baron.
In damage on Rumble.
Yep.
That game one.
It's
So
pretty
we're talking
impressive.
as if it's over. There's still some hope, but
Cuz is just diving underneath the turret. The doggos are going to get sicked onto Delight here. But he will just pull them back. Arrow flies out yet again. PDD with the Molten Shield. Extra movement speed gets out of the way. And Fenrir just walks up and hits it. Oh my god, he hits them all! There's the knockup with the Wild Growth, and he just takes matters into his own hands. Double kill for the brand new 80 carry for KT. Oh man, I was asking the question before this series started as, all right, Cuz is just going to interrupt by getting a Dragon's Descent out of Kanavi. But what I was going to say is, Jiu was just traded for aiming, right? Aiming started for Kium DRX. There is a reason why KT have not changed their roster after their first match, as Fenrir is just looking ridiculous here in the LCK.
the aggression, the killer instinct from this player, serving KT so well. Looks like with Zeka in position here, they will be able to force them away, but this game has gone from bad to
That's
worse.
going to be Infernal number 3. Bunch of extra stats over to KT, as the arrow, once again, going to sail on through and is going to start helping with this Baron. Kanavi is over here. Dragon's Descent over the wall is always an option. But HLE walking through a lot of vision to get here. Kanavi, can you make this one happen? As there is the Baron to the back line. It is going to be the Yanar taking down the Baron. Somehow, flashes in to murder all of them. Zeus goes down. There is the quadra kill denied, as it's a full house. Fenrir is full of cousins, and KT will do it again. First it's T1, then it's HLE. This legend group is a mess, and I love it.
What a week for KT, and what a week for Fenrir. Just such confidence going for those plays, and they decimate the MSI champions.
Unbelievable showing here for this young man. And we have to say,